whatever it is that you get to do on a weekend. But we are so glad that you got to join, and that really shows how excited you are, or how you're looking forward to participating in the open source challenge. And this really gives us so much joy. My name is Tabitha Kaviu, and I'm part of the leading team at open source community in Nairobi. So basically, we are a community of open source people. We just want to make sure that people get to participate more in open source projects, make contributions. You know how they say, next billion creators, next billion users. So we just want, I don't think that we are really active or more vocal about our open source contributions, especially in Nairobi. And that is what we're really trying to do with open source Nairobi. How exactly can we get more people on board to make contributions, learn how to even make contributions? There are guys that hear about open source, they don't even know what it is, or they've never really gotten the chance to actually participate or make open source contributions. And there's that group of people that are always shy because you are afraid of working on, let's say, international projects. Maybe you see a project on GitHub, you don't know anybody there, and you are kind of afraid. And we're like, okay, let's just bring this thing a little bit back home. Let's find projects amongst ourselves where people can be confident in contributing, understand what the projects are, and continue to grow. So I think that's the major purpose of this meeting, and we're just going to talk to you more about the challenge and get to hear about the different projects that you're going to contribute to, and yeah, have fun while doing so. So I think without wasting much time, I'll just invite my very able co-lead, the boss herself, Velda, the brains behind the whole open source challenge. And yeah, so she's going to talk to us about what exactly it is, what are the expectations, and how we can actually participate. So Velda, welcome.
Thank you. Yes, so my name is Velda, and thank you for the intro, Tabby. We normally do all this together since you're both colleagues. When you she's calling me the big boss or something, don't be fooled. So anyway, jumping on to why exactly we're having this call at this particular point is, I think if you have been following the main OSCA team, there's a time they also had a challenge before Oktoberfest earlier the previous year. So it's something similar, but what we are advocating for, as Tabby mentioned, is contributions to local projects. Regardless, that as long as you're contributing to open source, it doesn't really have to be the local projects that are going to be presented to you today. You can still contribute to other global projects. You could also start your own project with like other people and also share it to the either Discord or Telegram and have people contribute to that. So that means you'll also get to be a maintainer. And then something else that I know we have emphasized on writing code a lot, but you could also contribute to open source in regards to documentation. You could also look at communities that are already in open source and contribute as a community manager or a product manager for that particular organization. So do not be limited. You're all welcome. And as I mentioned, it doesn't have to be local projects, because I know the moment that you see the repos of either Shikot Africa, Nairobi, or React Dev, somebody has already gone and picked the issue that you wanted to work on, and probably you might not feel comfortable contributing to other projects, but this is a time where you need to start being comfortable with being uncomfortable at that point. And there's going to be a lot of hand-holding, because I believe all the people here, the maintainers of React and also Shikut Africa Nairobi, are going to be on Telegram, on our Telegram channel, and also on our Discord channel to be able to answer any questions that you may have and to also get help to you as soon as you need it. We'll also have a lot of the volunteers. So the volunteers will be working with you for the whole 4 weeks. So if there's ever an issue, feel free to post it on either Discord or Telegram. That's the main thing. Or you could also tweet at us, but we'll really advocate for you to use Telegram or Discord, because that is where we can easily get the info and help you as fast as we can. And then other than that, it's going to take place between 11th June to 11th July. So by 11th July midnight, every form that was open is going to be automatically closed. And then something I also wanted to highlight is, as you continue making different pull requests, contributing to open source, record your contributions on a doc, and then when it's 10th or you're done, or whichever date that you're comfortable with, that is not 11th past midnight, upload all your links to the submission form, and then you can easily like track them yourself, so you know, okay, I've made this amount of contributions. And something that we're looking at, not it's not just the number of contributions, but the quality of contributions that you've also actually made. So don't let numbers be a big factor. And we're also looking at different people who are also doing good things in open source, not just code wise. We're looking at writers, we're looking at designers, we're looking at managers, we're looking at all these types of people. And this is an exciting time to be in open source. I cannot wait for all of you to get started. I cannot wait to see the questions that you ask, the challenges that you get, because that means you're still learning and that you're getting something new out of the call or the challenge. And yeah, so basically that's it from me. Everything that you need has been highlighted on the article that was shared earlier. I'll still share it in the groups as well. And then I think I'd like to jump right into it. We have
Well,
two local projects here. Yes, Tabby.
yeah, so before we actually get to introduce the products and all, I think maybe we can use this opportunity. I know maybe you could talk to us, maybe, I know, sorry, I'm putting you on the spotlight. Maybe share that your experience. Maybe there's somebody here that has not really contributed to any projects before. And maybe if you can look back last time you're contributing, like where exactly you start contributing, what are some of the fears that you had, and how were you actually able to overcome it? And I think this is going to help somebody else when they're starting out, you know, just to motivate them to contribute. So yeah.
Ready to get the
I think,
question.
I think later on we can open other people to also like share once we introduce the project. I think it's going to be very important to hear people's experiences that other people may not be discouraged from contributing.
Yeah, I think we could have the projects first, all the leads introduce the different projects, because we also like get a question and answer, and also talking about experiences later on. So yeah, don't worry, we got you. So the first community that is going to be going is our very own Shipod Africa Nairobi. So I think Esther is already here, and Daniel, who's the maintainer, is also here. So I'd like to give it to Esther, and then Esther is going to introduce Daniel afterwards. And then, so that is the first group that's going to go first. The second group is going to be React Developers Kenya. And then after that, we'll get to hear like different people's experiences as well as questions, and then we could wrap up. Okay. Okay, so hi Esther, welcome.
Hi Velda, thank you so much. I'm glad to be here today. I hope everyone is doing fine and enjoying the weekend. Okay. So a little bit about me. My name is Esther Mweni. I'm the lead for Shikod Africa Nairobi, and we wanted to build a website, our own website. That is a website for the community. And a little bit background, Shikod Africa Nairobi is a community that looks to empower women. We create content, we have different meetings, and we run a blog where we share content about tech and a bit of non-tech that affect tech, something like imposter syndrome. And we run various projects. There's a previous one that we ran on mental health, that was a campaign. And for this month, we decided to run one on open source, a project that will help people in the community get into open source. Those who are maybe new to it, a beginner-friendly project that helps them understand a little bit more about open source and gives them an opportunity to get into it. And so we decided to build our website and open source it. And that's why the website, the Shikod Africa Nairobi website, is part of this challenge. And I think I'll first welcome Daniel. I hope you joined. He's the maintainer of the project. of the open source challenge on the side of Shikod Africa Nairobi. So I'll just welcome him to give you a little background about what how the contribution is going to about, like what you'll be contributing and things like that. Daniel, please.
Hi everyone. My name is Daniel Dennis. I will be maintaining the SheCodes Africa code base and hence the website. So, huh. When I was approached for this, I was actually very excited because I usually read the SheCodes Africa blog actually. Like one of the people, like I've been reading it for like a year, so I was actually really excited to actually get to work with them on this. And yeah, I like open source, and I had slacked a bit for like a few months, and I thought this was a perfect opportunity to do so. And the idea of helping others, I got into open source thanks to a lady. She was a backend developer at SocoWatch. I'm not sure if she still works there. She during a meetup, she just told me, "Hi, do you want to join open source?" And I said, "Yeah." And then she told me join our organization, and I did. And at that time, I wasn't even a really good developer, and they were doing Ruby on Rails. And I wasn't even a Ruby on Rails dev, but I would do the JavaScript bits that no one wanted to do. I would do the HTML bootstrap things that no one else wanted to do. And that is how I started off in open source. And I was really excited because now I get the chance to maybe help someone else get started too. So um, here is the She Codes Africa GitHub link. We have a repo that contains some starter files. That will be the beginning step. So the tech stack you're using is React, and we're using Next.js on top of React. For CSS, we'll be using Tailwind because I feel like it's easier to write and learn because we have like a month to get this over and done with. Having to start doing plain CSS would have been a bit of an issue, but if you don't know, again, feel free to ask any of the maintainers, anyone in the group for help. I am willing to help you in any way. We had initially decided to go with JavaScript, React JavaScript, but when I when I generated the template that comes with Tailwind, I don't know. I think I appended with TypeScript at the end by mistake, and it came with TypeScript. And then at that moment, I asked myself, do I convert this to JavaScript or delete this and then do it all over again? And I said, you know what? Maybe it's a good, maybe it's at the same time, while I was doing that, I saw, I think, Anthony's from React Kenya's argument on why we should, the React Kenya team are doing TypeScript. And I thought, yeah, he makes sense. So I just left it as that. But given if you don't know TypeScript, don't worry about it. Everyone here will be happy to help. So those are the starter files I'll be maintaining. You'll notice that in the README there are Figma designs that were created by one of the designers from SheCodes Africa, and yeah, that is the design we'll be ideally implementing. So yeah, that's everything you need to know to get started. Back to you in studio.
Thank you, Daniel. So that's all. If in case you have any questions, we have our Telegram channel, Twitter, and I believe Sheila will. Wow, Velda, sorry, will also share details about the socials for OSCA Nairobi, where you can ask the questions. So I'll reach there and back to Velda.
Okay, so something you've not also mentioned is the issues. How are they supposed to handle? How do I contribute to now, SheCode Africa Nairobi? Do I comment on the issues and say that I want to be assigned that? I don't really think you have looked into that as well, onboarding the first person who gets the issue, knowing that all issues are open and that it's on a first come, first basis. And also, is there a particular timeline to be done with a particular issue that you have, or does it have to end to the 11th? You can take as much time as you want to the issue till 11.
I think Dennis can answer that.
Oh yeah, I was unmuting. My mouse is shaking. Okay, can you see me now? Yeah. So yeah, there's definitely going to be a flow. For example, we have branch protection. So once you get to the repo, and we'll start dissecting the issues after this. So be on the lookout on the issues tab after this meeting. So ideally, if you pick an issue, depending on how easy the issue is or how hard the issue is, we will discuss in that issue and determine the time. We understand that people have things to do. So, and it's perfectly okay. We understand that not everyone's coding speed is the same. So we definitely understand. So that is what that is the system we'll be using. Once you show interest, you'll be dictating how long you think it will take. And yeah, if everything looks good, you'll be assigned to the issue. And once you're done, you'll make a pull request to the develop branch. What was the other question, Velda?
Yeah, it's basically to be able to know that this person is working on this thing so that somebody else doesn't still work on the same project at the same time. So if you've also shared that the issues will be uploaded or updated in a few, how long is that? I think you should be specific so that people don't hold off for a long time.
Okay. Let's say by end of the day, the repo will have issues. Granted that after that, after we clear those basic issues and everyone is assigned, you can always feel free to add your own issue. We'll discuss it if it's viable. Someone can be assigned or you can be assigned to it. So yeah, we'll just create issues to start us off, and yeah, from there we'll just keep discussing. I was even as the README says, I want this to be as inclusive as possible. If you feel like I've made a typo in the README, just ping me and say, yo, you made a typo in the README. If you feel like it's supposed to be a comma and not a semicolon, yeah, create an issue. I'm not an English teacher, like I'm not. I didn't study literature like Ben. Ben smiled because he knew I was going to mention him. So yeah, if you feel like there's something we could add, if you feel like working on the designs as well, always express what you want. This is an open project. The designs are there to guide us. And yeah, we'll start with some starter issues by the end of the day. So around 6 p.m., be sure to check them out and start, claiming issues. Also, there's a question I had to Velda. Which issues should we tag OSCA Nairobi? OSA Nairobi? Because I understand there's some issues. Yes, I'm supposed to tag that. Yeah.
All of them.
Okay, sure. The more the merrier. I will.
Yeah, all of them need to have the logo, the label that I think I mentioned earlier in the previous meeting we had.
Yeah.
And then
Yes.
after the cap of the 4 weeks that we have aligned, you could feel free to now remove the label.
Sure, no worries.
So any update will be, just to answer Chris's question, any updates, all this info will still be sent to you on Telegram and Discord too. Don't worry, the call is also being recorded, so it's also going to be uploaded on YouTube if you miss anything. So yeah, does anybody have anything they'd like to ask before we move on? Esther, do you have anything else to add?
No, just to emphasize that it's beginner friendly, so don't be afraid to join in. As Daniel was saying, you can even collect a comma, that's still open source. So please feel free to contribute.
Awesome. So thank you so much to the Shikod Africa Nairobi team. We'll still be getting back to you at the very end to get questions from the audience. So the next team that's here is the ads team, Team Yakina Ben, the React developer community. So I think it's Ben, Stephanie, and Rama. I don't know if they're all on the call or who's supposed to go first, but I think I'd welcome Ben since I've already seen him here. So yeah, welcome.
I was also sure that I'll definitely be the one to do the whole introduction. So first of all, yeah, we are super excited about this. I don't want to repeat a lot of things that Daniel has already mentioned. So for us, our approach is going to be a little bit, okay, I've seen the repo by the Shikod Africa. It's basically built on TypeScript. So after deliberation, so for us, our approach is, because either way we are trying to also still, as it has been mentioned, we're trying to make this process as inclusive and as beginner friendly to everybody. So the whole process it's supposed to take 4 weeks. So in our timelines, we are starting off our project, and the first issue, which is going to be available today, we hope that somebody will grab it as early as it's published. We are migrating the original code base from Create React App to Create Next App. That is going to be the first issue that we are going to have. I don't know. Rama will speak about when and what time that issue will be published specifically, so that by Monday we essentially want to build the whole website on Next.js. And all of this again is because of something really interesting that was mentioned by Anthony Sunday. If you guys can see him, pale. Yeah. So that is going to be the first issue. So as we progress, we want to make sure that everybody still gets to understand how to that is basic JavaScript. And as again, within the 3 weeks, we expect that people who are trying to contribute are also people who are also attempting to learn TypeScript. So for the last week, the 4th week, now the biggest, or the issue that we are going to submit is we're going now to upgrade our code base from plain JS to TypeScript. That is what we're going to be doing essentially for the last week. And that is what we want to do. So we're looking at a point where, one, we begin it as a beginner level project. And then as we continue, we now bump it up a level, so that as you are also learning how to contribute to open source, you're also trying to upgrade your own skills by learning TypeScript. Because either way, as we finalize on the last week, adding TypeScript is all a matter of just defining types, including more type definitions. We'll just explore that. Again, I just want to mention that, yeah, again, everything is open source. For us, we even open source the designs. So it's actually being built as we speak. Right now, it's being built as we speak. We will have a live link for that in the repo. These are things that we're supposed to do as soon as we're done with this call. And again, so for us on our repo, we have a whole discussion panel. So if you feel like there's anything that if you feel like the color or the hues or whatever, even in the designs could be done better, our button could be moved a millimeter to the left or to the right. Shoot us a point in the discussions. Let us hear why you feel like that is the right way to do this thing, and we shall definitely hear you out. So yeah, we are 3. It's me, Rama, and Stephanie. Rama DevSite. Have I seen him somewhere? Oh yeah, Rama DevSite, and we have Stephanie. So yeah, let's do these things and let's explore. Let's learn. Let's make mistakes and let's get these issues. Like make sure. So for us, we'll start publishing a majority of the issues on Monday by 8 in the morning. Once you just wake up in the morning, stretch mikono, the issues will be ready. We'll have most of the issues ready so that you start assigning, and we start doing these things. So yeah, anything else I need to add? Any questions or anybody else from my team who would want to mention anything? That is Stephanie and Rama.
Hi. Yeah. Hi, everyone. I think there's also the question by Velda about the time that someone is assigned an issue. Yeah, so I'd like to add on that. We had deliberated on 3 days. And this is because okay, there's also the option of if you feel like an issue will take you more time, you can as well communicate. So we also encourage you to communicate. If you want, yeah. So we'll start. If you want to take on this issue, you'll say it in the issues section over there. I'd like to work on this. You're assigned, and then we had more time, or the issue would take you more time. Please also communicate. Yeah, so that's what I'll add.
Just a minute. I'd want to answer something that Daniel has added on the chat. Why don't you just delete the repo and then start again from Next.js? So essentially, we're trying to, okay, it's something that we can do, by the way. It's not something that we haven't considered doing. But again, we're also looking at this at a point where, one, we are taking this from a real world approach. Like, what if you just get into a place where you have everything has already been defined and whatnot? Do you delete the whole repo and start afresh? No, you do not. So that is why our first issue is to do the whole migrate. So Daniel Dennis, actually, I don't want to see you fighting for that issue once it's pulled in. because yeah, we'd want to see how these things are done. We'd also want to learn some of these mistakes that people do when migrating a code from one library to another. Yeah, so that is why we won't delete the repo. We want to migrate the repo.
Okay, Ben, I think you could also add the link to your website so that I send it out. The GitHub repo here for the website so that people don't come to my neck every time and tell me, we want issues. You can't see the link. So as I send it out, I could send
Rama provide. I think Rama should be able to provide that. Oh, cool.
Yeah,
Right on cue. Amazing. So yeah, Rama, you can summarize.
Check. Hello, folks. Don't know if I'm audible.
We can hear you.
Awesome. Yeah. So my name is Rama. Let me just switch on my camera. Yeah. So hi, my name is Rama. I'm one of the community colleagues for React developer community, and as part of like the whole open source thing, we have an ongoing request for comments. So a request for comments is where like you forward your opinions on like a certain issue. So right now there's an ongoing request for comments for the issue of like changing the code base from Create React App to Next.js. So that is also part of open source. So it's advisable to like also get your opinions heard, because as at now I can see Team TypeScript is winning. So if you are on a contrary opinion, it's advisable to like raise your opinion and stuff. So yeah, that was what I wanted to add, and I hope to see your contributions.
Yeah, all he said is available on the link that he shared. If you just move to the discussions bar, is it a bar or tab? Discussions tab, the same link. So yeah, create a new point, create anything else. Let's have a lot of people just contribute to a lot of things. Cool.
Awesome. So you mentioned that the tech stack is going to be Next and Tailwind as well.
Absolutely.
A lot of interesting things for people who are getting into Next. Taleta video watu wa view na Angela. Kwa nini hamtumii hizo vitu? I will fight for the voiceless.
Angela.
Man. But anyway, thank you for that. And also remember that you also have to include the label that I remember sharing with you so that people can easily identify that, yeah, we should be working on this for this particular time. And then after 11th July at midnight, you can feel free to remove it if it's bothering you. But I don't think it will anyway, because this works out for the both of us. So yeah. And then is there anything else you'd like to add as a React Devs team?
Yeah, just there's one thing. There's a label that maybe if you're on the call, you could maybe even use on your project, so that like to enhance the discoverability. There's a label called OSSKE. So it's short for Open Source Software Kenya. So maybe if you can add it to your projects as well, so that you can keep the momentum going and stuff. So yeah.
Oh, cool. I'll add a workflow I'll add a bot to do that automatically on all issues.
Yeah, this is exciting. I'm super excited, and you haven't even posted issues yet. You guys, hey, you are sleeping. So you post them tonight. Tuanze tag of war tonight leo watu hawalali. But anyway, I think the team that's going to be posting issues at 6 p.m. is the Chicod Africa. I don't know if Daniel could confirm this, because he mentioned there's something he's doing at 6 p.m. I think it was the issues, right?
Yeah, I'll start publishing the issues. Yeah.
6 p.m.
Yeah, there's a very interesting issue. Like if anyone has seen the designs, there's a way those images are stacked to. I was actually talking to the design in the morning, and I was asking her, do those images have to be stacked like that? Like, can't you just make it one image? And that will be like the very first issue. Please and thank you. If you're good at tailwind and can align images like that, hey, see me, see me.
If you've never written Tailwind, take the issue. Kesi baadaye.
No, I wanted Daniel to create an issue and have someone assign to one a PSCC. We see how different people have different approaches.
To fight for those issues, please give us time to fight for ourselves. Anyway, yeah, I don't think since you're actually going on to now the questions, I think we'll open up the forum to now. Anybody else who has any questions that they'd like to ask, whether it's in regards to the issues, the tech stack, or anything else that they'd like to share, as well as your experience with open source. It's not limited to anyone in particular. So yeah, this is your time.
Well, as we wait for people to ask questions, I would also like, I mean, I like the fact that Esther introduced Daniel, the maintainer, Ben said, oh, anybody in my team? And I'm like, I know we have people that help us in the open source community Nairobi team, and I would like them to use this opportunity to talk to you guys, that you guys also know them. I see Brian is here, I see Zidane is here. You know yourselves, so you know, the open source Nairobi guys, please use this time. I'm so glad to see Zidane. I know, I was like, I was always telling Vel that I'm looking for, I don't know you yet, but I think your name just struck me, and yeah, so stop doing your eyes like that, Velda. I mean, I'm just saying, I just like the name. So I'd like you guys to just use this opportunity to, you know, introduce yourselves, let people know you, so that open source community Africa Nairobi, they're not only thinking of Velda and I, but they also see you guys as well, because you guys are going to be interacting with them. I mean, when they ask questions or when they need help, you're going to be there with them. And yeah, to Joanne. So Zidane, I want you to go first.
Oh, hi. Thank you. Thank you for the I don't even know what to say. Anyway, as you've heard, I'm Zidane Gimiga. I'm a product developer, mostly because I specialize in both UI UX engineer, UI UX development, and product design as well. So about open source, I've always been interested and just keen to figure out how I can also contribute to open source projects. But most of the ones that I've encountered are usually so complex that it's difficult to figure out which issue that you can work on, because normally when you pick an issue, someone else has already will do it faster than you. So I'm also excited about just contributing to two of the projects that have been presented. I'm mostly excited about React Developer. Nimeenda kwa repo yenu. Yeah, and I'm looking forward to contributing. Yeah, Zidane Gimiga, that's my name. I hope that wasn't TMI.
No, it's okay. It's not too much information. It's okay. I see Daniel is already saying that Ben has found you. So I'm believing that you guys are going to meet behind the tent. So yeah. Next, I'm not going to call anybody. I want you guys to be very brave.
You called Zidane, please. You need to call out the rest. Equality for all, or we will fight.
Brian, let me call Brian, and Bella is going to call.
I knew you would mention my name. So hello everyone, I am Brian Kaimwa. Can you hear me, guys? Oh, thank you. I'm just seeing the people nodding. So yeah. So So I am Brian Kai Mwanyumba. I'm glad to be here. So we work together at OSCA Nairobi, and we are promising you it's gonna be an exciting experience. Hey, it's going to be an exciting experience. So yeah, we have a lot planned for you guys. So we are happy to have you on board, and please tell anyone else who wants to join that they can still come and join us in the challenge. It's a learning experience for beginners too. They can also come and join us. So yeah, that's me. Ama kuna chenye nimesahau? Tabi, back to you in studio.
Okay. So actually, the next person going will be Murumba. I hope you guys are taking note of these people, because these are the people you'll be fighting with, especially in the group, asking you questions if you've made contributions, if you have any issues. So yeah.
Is Mumba here?
Yes, I saw him a few minutes ago, unless he's left.
He's here. He's here.
Wait, yes, yeah, Mumba, me and you are going to fight about this. Okay, so who else is here? Hi, Kate.
Hi Tabitha. Nilikuwa nafikiria tumefikia watu wengine, but here I am. So, hi everyone. Happy to see the excitement, and I'm looking forward to contributing to this project. So a bit about me, I'm Catherine Kiro, and open source, I started my journey with She Code Africa. I participated in their contribution program, and I believe, and I have graduated successfully from the program. So I'm looking forward to participate in more projects. I'm looking forward to this, especially this one, since I'll be contributing to the She Code Africa Nairobi project. So yeah, I'm looking forward to it. So patane GitHub.
Thank you so much, kids.
Yeah, so that's me.
Hi, the famous kid. But I see on TikTok. Let me see. Velda, do you see anybody that is around? Let me see.
Oh, sorry, before we go on, I just want to mention my people from Node School Nairobi. There's Anthony, there's Ian. We normally host meetups, so I'm happy to see the team here.
Okay, thank you. Is Laura here? Laura. Hey, my people are following my hand, man. Like, people, where are you? Okay, go ahead.
Hello, can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Oh, hi everyone. My name is Laura. Yeah, I'm also a beginner in this open source field. And yeah, I'm usually quiet most of the times and I don't have much to say, but I can't wait to work with you all. Yeah, that's all.
All right, thank you so much, Laura. Beryl, are you here?
Yeah, I'm here.
I see. Okay. Okay.
Hi everyone. So I am Beryl Kanali. I also volunteer for OSCA Nairobi. I'm glad to see you all here. So what I can say is open source is just a matter of being willing to learn. You cannot know it all, so just be courageous, pick an issue, work on it. In case of any questions, don't be afraid to ask. It's more of a learning process. You don't have to actually make a very big contribution. Whatever small contribution you can make will go a long way. So yeah, have fun.
All right, thank you so much. Thank you, Beryl. Thank you, Laura. Thank you, Zidane. Thank you, Brian. Thank you, everybody. I think, I don't know, I'm not going to call Kelvin. I'm assuming he's not heard me, but Kevin, I'm going to call you one last time. But in the meantime, I'm so glad to be here. I think this is the first time I'm actually in a meeting with people from Nairobi only. Honestly, Velda, I feel so I don't know, but this is actually the first time in a very, very long time that I'm around my country people. Yeah.
Kumanisha.
No, I'm so glad. Like, I'm happy. Like, so smiling. I just thought about it and I was like, wow, okay. It's been a while, a very long while. But yeah, Happy, do you want to speak? I think Catherine is one of those people, like I do when someone calls me out to speak, and then I go back and I realize I actually wanted to say this, and yeah, so
Yes, that is what I wanted to say.
that
yes, after this meetup, Velda, Tabitha, oh my God, yes, and the other leads, you plan for Ambuzi to celebrate the project. That's just a suggestion.
I think I even like this idea. I think what we should even do, we should even plan for everybody that participated in the open source challenge. I think that's a great idea. Let's start looking for fans. I like the fact that I just say I can share the thing. Okay, that's fine. We'll see. I mean, we have people like Ben here. Ben has money. Velda has money. Brand has money. Zidane, y'all look rich. We're going to have this Mbuzi definitely.
I just had to sit upright because I'm like, hey, thank you. Somebody is manifesting on my behalf. I've crossed fingers and accepted the thought that I have money.
Ads. What are you telling us?
Get you a tab in your life, someone that understands and sees your potential. You get?
Socialite.
Okay.
Developer advocate at ALX.
All right. Let me see. Do we have anybody with questions? I know Velda said that you guys can ask questions. Anybody here with any questions? Please let me go and look for my charger. My laptop is going low on battery. Please feel free to ask questions. And if you don't have questions, I'm going to ask, do we have anybody that has not contributed to open source before? If you have not, just reply with no. If you have, say yes. Then I will just take a look. We'll take a look and see. So we have an idea of, the people we have around. Okay. Zelda, please hold it down for me as I look for my channel.
Okay. So, wow. I have posted the Discord link and Telegram. I have posted the same link for Discord and Telegram. So I'll be sorry. I'll be posting the link for for Telegram in a few minutes because I'm actually here and I do not know why it's not posting the same link. But just give me a second, just a second as I post this one. So you'll notice the Discord one, it's the global one we have. So you need to navigate to our OSCA Nairobi channel so that you also get to ask questions in that particular channel. So that is where also the volunteers are going to be. But Telegram is exclusively ours, so that's not a big deal. And then oh no, I haven't. These are people who haven't contributed to open source. Yeah. So if you haven't, don't worry. The moment these people paste in the issues, take one, the one that excites you the most, And then Casey Badais, you can easily storm Daniel's DMs or on Discord or anybody else's. That's how you actually get started. And the reason why I'm encouraging you to take up issues is because there'll be a lot of people who are willing to actually hold your hand in regards to these particular projects that are here, as compared to how you would contribute to other projects where everybody has like structure of, okay, so this is what is expected. Don't contact me unless you're done with this task, by the way, ama you pay another issue. As in, we all know, like, if you've contributed to like open source, you always know that if you take too long with the issue, that issue gets reassigned to somebody else. So for us, we are going to be gentle a little bit for this very first challenge, but as you also move forward, we'll try to be considerate of each and every factor that comes in. But yeah, don't worry whether you want to, and I told you open source doesn't judge whether you've done it before or not, whether you're coming in as a writer, coming in as a manager, coming in as a designer. We do not care your reasons, whether you just want to come get experience, get money. If you're here for passion, if you're here for whatever that you want to be here for, that's your business. As long as you're here and you're actively contributing, that's all that matters.
And
So,
I mean, if you're actually starting off, and I know like Bella talked about quality, but I know for some of us that when we are always starting, you may just go and find a typo in maybe it's a website and they say it about us, and maybe they just didn't write about properly. So you can start making contributions by, like, so, okay, I think there's a spelling error here. Maybe I can fix this. You get, so you can start from the smallest thing. And then I like the fact that Ben talked about, the whole idea is for you to make open source contributions and then learn as you continue doing so. And I think, I don't know why, but Ben, I'm going to put you on the spotlight again. So maybe if you could tell us maybe at a time, for the sake of people that have not really contributed before, a time like when you're starting out, like your first time making your first open source contribution, like maybe if there are any mistakes you made or something that you wish you would have known, and now you know it, you get, so please. I told Vela to do this, but Vela does not want to share her own story.
It's cool. So fine. For me, I wouldn't consider myself a pro level contributor, but I'd say my first contribution, honestly, was to change the color of a button. And I think that was way last year when we were doing Hacktoberfest. Yeah, Rama convinced me to try out Hacktoberfest, and I thought that wouldn't be accepted, but it ended up being accepted and merged, and I was like, wow. It was really interesting. So one of the things that I'd honestly say for anybody who's wanting to do this, don't be afraid to fail, and there's no good code, there's no bad code, provided it just passes the tests. Either way, the whole essence of contributing to an open source project is somebody else might report probably a feature as a bug, and somebody might modify or improve on what you have already done. So it's still okay, provided just do, for example, right now we're just building websites. It's not easy, it's not hard. It's just a standard level. It's just on a standard level it's on a standard level for you to learn. So don't be afraid to share something. Feel free to ask as many questions with regard to an issue that you want assigned to you, so that by the time an issue is actually assigned to you, you already get into it knowing exactly what is expected. Don't just jump on something like assign this to me. Make sure that you already know. That's just that. I don't want to complicate a lot of things.
All right, thank you so much. I mean, the guys that are here and you've not contributed before, please don't worry. Like Ben and Belda have mentioned, we are here. That's why the community is here, and I really want everybody to take advantage of the community and fully embrace it, so that if you're really having any challenges, feel free to talk. I mean, that's why we have Discord channels. That's why we have Telegram. Now, one thing I love about the tech space is that you can always ask somebody a question and they'll answer you. No one will think that you are not smart. No one will think that you are, there are those of us that are afraid of asking questions because we feel like, oh no, they're going to think that I don't know this thing and stuff like that. That's where we are here. That's why communities exist. So if you actually don't even know what GitHub is, just ask and say, how do I actually navigate around this? Someone is willing to maybe take you through it, or someone is going to share an article or a video which you can actually, go through and get an understanding. So just don't feel lost, and don't fail to contribute because you think you don't know how to do something. Feel free to ask. You guys engage. People are always there. People are always going to respond to your questions and stuff like that. Oh, yeah. So Esther has a question. I don't know who this question is directed to, but I'm just going to say it. After issues are posted, do you comment to be assigned so that you can just clone it, or you have to pick an issue, fork the repo so that you are able to clone it? I think I'm going to pose this question to both Ben and is it Daniel?
Yeah, you'll have to once you pick once you have expressed interest and you have been assigned to an issue, just fork the repo, um, do your thing, and then make a pull request. I think that will be a much more cleaner workflow. Yeah, and then make a pull request when you're done. Once you fork it, you'll be able to clone it. Yeah.
Yeah, but I think the important thing was to ensure that you request for it before you clone it, because you might not end up getting the issue. Probably somebody else has commented that they want the issue assigned to them before you did. So I think that's very important. Yes, please continue, Stephanie.
Oh, yeah, I was just going to mention the same thing. Yeah, and on top of what Velda has said, if you're having issues with maybe, let's say, forking and branching out of the repo, we also have like guidelines that will step-by-step guidelines that will help you, like with the commands like git checkout from this branch. They are clear on the contribution guidelines, so you can just check them out. If it's still too complicated, you can still reach out. Yeah, we'll help you.
Well, quick question. As you're saying, reach out. I hope you are all in our Discord and Telegram channels, so that if they want to add Daniel, Ben, Steph, anybody, Rama, they can easily get you there.
Yeah, I'm on the Telegram one. I'm going to join the Discord.
Okay, so
Yeah, I'm still confirming that I'm not a robot on the Discord channel. So yeah, I'll definitely join in once they realize I'm not a robot.
Okay, we hear you,
so,
ads guy.
A quick one for anyone who hasn't contributed to open source and is maybe learning React.js like as their preferred front-end framework. I've posted a link on the chat. So if you have used like any resource that has helped you in your journey in learning React.js, that's a project there that I've posted. Feel free to contribute to it, because you might be like helping somebody else. And also in terms of guidelines, I can post a cheat sheet on the chat right now. Yeah, so that's a resource you can use to like engage with the projects with 99.9% chance of getting your contributions matched. So yeah, that's just a cheat sheet from my past presentation. So yeah.
Shining out here. Thank you. The drive link is for what exactly? Is it the cheat sheet that you mentioned, or it's the no fantastic front end is the one with the resources, right?
Yeah.
Okay. Okay, you're very confident to the drive.
It has no shoes, man. Anybody else has any question?
Yeah, I think I would like to add something. Because umeanza kazi already. No, it's not like that. I was just saying, pointing it out, like you guys. But anyway, what I wanted to say is that don't feel limited to only these projects, because we are so many, and I don't want us to still be confined to like, okay, there are no more issues, so I'm not going to participate in this challenge. There are projects. Chris has posted also a project that he'd want people to contribute to. There will be other projects coming up that you'll also be involved with. and there are also other companies who want to join in, so you'll still get updates. So don't worry, ukienda pale upate issues zako zimechukuliwa. Look at also look at GitHub. There's so many open source issues that you can actually work on. And now that Tabi said I refuse to share my experience contributing to open source, I would like to take the time to share how I first contributed to open source. So mine was Hacktoberfest. Of course, it had to be Hacktoberfest. I was like, there are T's involved, so I had to fight for either a t-shirt or a tree. But even God knows I didn't plant a tree, so yeah, there's that. So my first contribution was I wasn't that ambitious. I was like, at that time, I think I was beginning to get into data structures and algorithms, and I was like, this is what I want to do. I didn't know if there were like other projects which will be involved around that. I didn't know, like, you know how overwhelming it can be when people tell you you go to the GitHub issues and then look at every single like repo that's there and then select the one that you want. So you can easily do that. That is actually what you should do. But you also need to filter in regards to whether it's the language specific that you want, whether you want JS. There are so many languages over there. You just filter and then get the list that you wanted. And obviously, being a Python fan, I was like, you know what? I just want to do data structures and I want to do this in Python. So the first thing is, I don't remember which algo I was writing. I don't know if it was for binary search or it was some particular topic I hadn't done before. And remember, this is my first time, so I am like panicking. And then everybody I see, like all the issues that were there, everybody's like, can I do this? Can I do this? Can I do this? I'm like, oh God, if I sweat it one more time, this issue is gone. So the moment I identified the one I wanted, I definitely asked for it. It got assigned to me, and then there begins the challenge of having a workaround to do it. So it was really exciting anyway. I also had a description. Hey, being a first timer is also some nerve-wracking stuff, but I don't think you ever get used to it anyway. You never get used to, like, I've contributed to thousands and thousands. This tiny change that I'm making is going to, like, it's not going to change my life, because up to date, every like PR that I do, I'm always like, guy, will it get accepted? Will they reject? What are the reasons of rejecting? Like, I'll always wonder and I'll always ask until I see much success. Then I'm like, yo, did this again, add it to my list. So what I'd like to encourage you is you just do it, because the first one I was freaking out. And then remember, it's Oktoberfest, everybody's contributing, maintainers are overworking, they're doing the most out here. And then remember that year was also the time where there were like so many issues, people saying that they don't want their readmes changed, their typos and all that, like people are spamming their project. So it was like, I don't know, I was just feeling weird about the whole situation. But anyway, I managed to write the solution. After a while, I got feedback from the maintainer. They appreciated that it was a unique solution. I was like, ooh, got this. So yeah, it always starts like that. It's never like, this is exactly what I wanted. It's always like, yeah, I think I could do this. Let me try this, and then I'll get back to the maintainer. And then also feel free to ask for help if something is not clear, especially in the issues that are going to be updated. Well, my expectation is that when you're creating an issue, you have outlined exactly how you want everything to look like, so that we also don't have a lot of back and forth, right? But now there's some crazy projects out there. They'll just have issues with labels, and they'll be like, you go crazy. And then when you're doing the changes or when you're having issues, they'll be like, no, this is not what we wanted. And then you start having a back and forth. And then eventually you'll be like, you know what? I'm done with your issues and I don't want to do this anymore. But don't be like that. Our maintainers are the best. And as I told you, they're also in Telegram and Discord, so you can easily, I give you all the right to disturb them, but in meaningful hours, please. Also be disciplined in disturbing them, please. Msiende huko alafu naanza kuwasha moto DM.
To take is no meaningful hours.
Well, like 8 to 5, I think is good time, right? Ama kama watu wanataka ku-overwork. Yeah.
Okay. It's okay. Thank you for sharing. I just remembered my own experience. I'm not quite sure the first time I contributed, or if it was Hacktoberfest or Anita B. Let me see. Okay, for a Hacktoberfest, I would hear about Hacktoberfest before, and you know how you hear about open source and people talking about contributing, but you just don't get to do it. Luckily for me, there was a friend that told me, okay, just contribute to anything, and I was like, I think for me the fear was, I'm not really sure I'm ready if I can do anything. What if they give me something to do and I don't even know how to do it? So I think for Hacktoberfest, I don't know the PR I submitted if they were my own projects. I don't know. I think they were. I'm not really. I don't remember. I remember I had like 4 of them, and they got approved. I just don't remember how they got approved, and I got a t-shirt. They called me, oh, we have something for you. You know, whether it's a poster on a computer, when they t-shirt, you have to go poster or something of the sort. And that feeling is always nice, actually, that to get your PRs, married and everything. I don't remember what I really worked on, but I think I worked on something. I don't know why I'm discounting my success. It's a long time. But then for Grace Hopper 2020 rather, there's an open source day, and then I was also scared because I'm like, these are Wazungu. I'm like, oh my god, maybe their projects are going to be very complex. I don't even know what I'm going to do. Like, I was already panicking, but I was like, I'm going to do it. Yeah, I'm just going to get into the process. And they were so nice. So the thing is, you get to be on a call with them because it was like a virtual thing. So you are online, more like a hackathon kind of thing. So they give you issues and you're still on call with them. Then when you're done, you let them know, okay, I finished and blah, blah, blah. So they gave me, and it was like 2 a.m. my time because of the time zone issues, but I was still there because of the pressure and I wanted to contribute and stuff like that. And they gave me stuff to do. I don't know, somehow, the thing is, you don't know sometimes how to do something, but I think the joy when you do it, like you didn't know how to do it before, and now you've been able to do it and get accepted. Oh my God, I think it's very, and I just loved it. I was so happy. I was so confident, and yeah, and I'm actually very glad that OSCA is, Nairobi, we are doing this now before Hacktoberfest, so that by the time Hacktoberfest comes, you'll have more people actually contributing, and then you will get Hacktoberfest t-shirts and stuff like that, Yeah, so good timing. All right, I think that's pretty much it from my end. I'm not seeing any more questions. Anybody with a question? We don't want to lock you out before we wrap up everything. I know we've stayed here like for almost an hour or so.
Okay. Can you hear me?
Yeah, we can.
Yeah, so now for those, for those who like code side, kama vile kina Tabi walisema, hiyo side ya code tunahama kidogo. So maybe She Code Africa and React devs, maybe do you have maybe articles that people can write about you, or maybe if you want documentation I've just seen you've just posted about websites, the two of you. Maybe if you have anything out of code, like writing, or there's someone who maybe is not in for maybe code or that. So maybe you can just, if you have articles who you want them to be published, or yeah, you can just, for someone maybe in this, so that as you feel ameachwa nje, we have everyone on board.
Okay, let me pitch in a little bit. So as I had mentioned before that, I don't know, but we do have other repositories, and on one of the few repositories that we have is one where you can share probably resources that helped you learn. It's called, I think, Fantastic Frontend, the one that Rama posted. Yeah, Fantastic Frontend. So in as much as you're not really willing to write code or basically write documentation, you can actively add content to that so that somebody else who's also learning how to code gets to see that these are resources that people have actually given a go-ahead that I used. So Fantastic Frontend is a good place. That is for people who want to just contribute a lot of random things. Just go through the repo, see anything that you think you can contribute. If you feel like anything written on the repo has a punctuation problem, as Daniel had said, do a pull request. In addition to that, I don't know if Rama has anything else to say in terms of writing documentation and just blog posts. But I think that is one of the few key things that we also wanted to add for the website itself. But yeah, I think Rama, if you have anything to add. Nakurusha Maftani. It seems like
Rama ameenda kupika.
Menda happy. Huyo stories zake alishamaliza za meeting.
Yeah. So, Steph, do you have anything to add with regard to documentation or anything non-code related with regards to the org, the React Dev org?
No, I was going to say mention the fantastic front-end repo, but yeah, you've already mentioned it. I don't have anything else besides that.
Yeah.
Just to add on what Ben said, just to add on what Ben said, I think one important thing, especially for She Code Africa, is especially now that we need to tell the story of or compile stories of people's experience getting started with open source. So we will need writers to do that, because I can't try to save my life. So yeah, Brian and other non-tech people come through. We'll also need people who, because I'm also like a tad busy, so we also need like people to keep the house clean, make sure everything is going on well there. So you really don't. Contribution doesn't have to be code based. Yeah, but for people who write, we can come up with a write up for the experience we'll have by the end of the 1 month, 4 weeks. Yeah.
Yeah. And then something
Just
that you. Oh yes, please continue, Esther.
To add on what Daniel was saying, yeah, we have. I mentioned before that you have a blog, and I would be happy if people shared their maybe the experience on this challenge itself there, for other people in the community to read. We have a session called Wrote for Us. I'll share the link. It's where you can submit an article. It doesn't have to be related to open source actually. I believe Brian was asking about like someone who is not interested in that. Yeah, that's also another way of it's ideally open source because you're also providing information and content to the community. So that's also another great way to contribute to open source. I'll share the link in the chat.
Yeah, thank you for that, Esther. So I wanted to mention that you can actually suggest issues that you'd want to work on. So you don't need to be like confined to exactly the issues that they have placed. So if you have like something like if you like to write something on Next or React or Tailwind, you can suggest to either of the repos and be like, hi, I think this is something you could use, and then you could create content yourself for that particular blog post you could write. So yeah, it's really open to how you want your experience to be. And as we always say, the future is open, and whatever you want to do, feel free to like give out suggestions, your ideas. There's also discussion groups on the different repos. We'll still be overworking on the groups. So we want all of you to feel included, that your voices are being heard, and that we're actually really helping you to like contribute to open source. So one of the goals that I think I didn't mention this earlier, but is also included in the article, is that we want to have a lot of open source contributors specifically from Kenya, because every time you speak of open source and then you search online, the people who get into different programs like MLH or how is it called, this Google source something of some of code and documentation, the first people you see are like a lot of Nigerians who have participated in that before. And we also want to have a lot of Kenyans participating on these particular opportunities. Like once you see how you can do it once, you can easily replicate this moving forward and also applying to other programs. So this is what we want y'all to like get into all these programs. And these programs also give you money. That's why people are getting into those programs. Dollars, USD, unashtua bank accounts kumoja tu. But anyway, as I told you, open source doesn't judge whether you come for money or not. That's entirely up to you. We just care that you make your own quality and a good quantity of open source contributions. So I don't have anything else I'd like to add. I think we'll take 5 minutes for the last questions and then we could wrap up. So any more questions? Tabby, I feel like you want to say something. Please feel free.
No, I mean, you actually said everything I wanted to say, starting from the whole people that wanted to write. You can actually suggest you write on maybe I learned about this particular React library or whatever, and this is how I was able to do this using this tool. And I like how you put it that you can actually request that, oh, I want to work on this particular thing, or I have this item I want to submit. And yeah, so whether you've practically said everything, and I'm really hoping that once we get this as a habit, we'll get to have even contributors, people participating in outreachy, people participating in Google Summer of Code, and hey, you get the dollars. Who doesn't want dollars, man? We'll be happy to see all of you or you like getting into these programs and you need help. And sometimes maybe you see applications going on and you are always afraid, or maybe there's something that you always feel like maybe you don't know how to practice. Feel free. That's why we are here. Feel free to let us know. If possible, we can have someone that has gone through the whole process, take you through it, and guide you on how to go about it. So yeah. Thank you so much, guys.
I was saying, don't worry, we'll still like get you people who are also participating in the different programs who have participated before to be able to help you in coming up with proposals and interviews. I know some of these programs are really hard to get into if you don't have like a solid proposal. And another hack by way of getting jobs is like, you see the companies that you want to get into, look at the open source projects they have, start contributing one issue at a time, and then eventually they'll be like, oh, you've been working on this open source project, would you like to like come in for probably an interview? And then the next thing you know, you have a job as an open source contributor for that organization. So this is another hack of getting you some USDs. But don't worry, I know I'm emphasis on money because you guys, inflation is up. These days we don't look for daily 2K, we look for daily 4K to just be at par. Yeah, Rama ulimeza food. About to talk to us now.
Someone said the next thing you know, you work at Bitcoin. Now that you mentioned Bitcoin, I think I'm hungry, man. Who is buying us lunch? Where are we going for lunch? Money, dinner, money, evening.
We are Tabby, we're trying to get our daily 4K. Don't choke us.
Oh, Velda yeye ashaitisha yake na Uber. Nyinyi tulieni, you relax.
Don't talk to me about Uber, you guy. Hey, your day I had to drink water and hydrate. Calm down. You're laughing at me. Look at me too serious, by the way. What? After waiting for 2 years, not 2 years, 2 hours, thinking that I'll have my food ready, waiting in anticipation for me. Nambiwa, please, honey, drink water and calm down. Tomorrow is another day.
Did they eventually leave?
No, they issued a refund.
I think the worst thing is they tell you your food you have picked your order and you're like, when did I pick it?
The rider is probably sitting under a tree somewhere enjoying.
And I'm suffering, being told to drink water. Makosa.
Nona, Rama had already cooked.
Mi nakwambia Rama sijui hata.
Rama has already cooked. Ama yashatoka meeting. Like, he needs to be serious about eating. He doesn't want distractions.
You're even seeing the background image hapo kwa nani. Unaona, it looks like a kitchen counter, something like, you know.
Always ready.
Yeah, I think we should wrap up right now. We are actually 7 minutes almost to wrapping up like the whole session. So thank you for coming. Thank you to our volunteers who will be working, who will be overworking for the next 4 beautiful weeks to ensure that your process and progress is seamless and to ensure that you have whatever you need when you need it. And I also want to thank the maintainers here in the different communities who actually agreed to partner with this, because I remember all this started after I was like, hi, I need you to do this for me. I need you to do this. Are you willing to do this? Like how all this came together was also something very funny. But the fact that you are here says a lot about how convincing we can be and how we also want this community to thrive in open source. So thank you so much to the maintainers. Thank you to everybody who's also purposing and is on the lookout for having and contributing to open source projects. As I mentioned, to not be intimidated, take issues kesi baadaye, disturb these people. We are here to help, and we will definitely help you as far and as much as we can. I do not have anything else to add. I think Tabi can now give us a few words, and then we could say goodbye to this beautiful call, and then I'll obviously upload this call to YouTube after a few hours. But yeah, thank you so much, Tabi. You can close it up completely.
I don't know why people do this when they clearly know you have nothing to say. They're like, yeah, give us a few words. What words am I giving you? What words? I'm hungry. I want to eat. I'm hungry. That's are the words I'm giving you. Anyway, thank you so much, guys, for joining in today. We are super excited about the next coming 4 weeks. And I really hope that we are going to be like very active in our contribution. I think I'm also gingered to make open source contribution. I know like it's been long since, okay, let me not spill too much, but yeah, I'm really hoping that all of us are going to be excited about this. Let's make some noise, let's engage, let's help each other, let's and the future is open. And yeah, let's hope that at the end we're going to have some amazing stuff.
Awesome. So we have come to the end of our call. If you have anything else that you'd like to add, reach out to us on Twitter or LinkedIn or whatever we are, or Telegram or something. And yeah, we'll definitely get